Through the concrete cracks worn weary by work boots and high heels. Through the concrete cracks showered in tears of sorrow, tears of joy. Through the concrete cracks rumbled by reverberations of 100 years, a flower on the hill takes its first breath, and a grand hope springs. Welcome to the Spring Street podcast at the intersection of creation and destruction in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. And now, a word from the sponsors. This podcast is sponsored by Starship Kairos, a podcast studio available for bookings in downtown Los Angeles. Starship Kairos is where my guests and I make this show happen. Soundproofed, cozy, and equipped with professional audio gear, Starship Kairos is an ideal location for any type of podcast. Starship Kairos offers a full suite of services including content consultation, mixing and mastering, and custom jingle writing. For rates and booking, check them out on Instagram at Starship Kairos or click on the link in the description. And now, let's dive in. All right, we're live here on the Spring Street podcast. What's up, Sarah?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I was trying to think back to how long it's been since you played here. Was it like summer of last year?
I believe the last time I was here was in June.
June of 2023?
2023.
Okay, so not too long ago.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that long ago. I love coming here. And you know what I was just thinking when we were setting up in here? I was like, the other times I've come here are to perform, and I'm always disgustingly nervous and like terrified. And I'm always in here with like the cold sweats and stressed out. And I was like, you know what? It's so nice to be in this space and not be terrified, like about to start singing.
Yeah. Man, that's so funny. You've actually, I would have never guessed that you were nervous.
Thank you.
You always give an amazing performance.
Thank you.
You're a really talented singer. Actually, funny story. I think that the last time you performed, my mom was actually here and saw you perform. And it was like the only concert I think that she's seen at this space, and she really liked your music.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time I was here was a fun one. It was more intimate. The first time I was here, there were so many. That's what we were just talking about. There were like so many people here the first time that I was here, and that was super fun, like party show vibes.
Yeah.
The last time was more intimate, acoustic, hanging out. Everybody was really cool, really nice. That's cool though.
Yeah.
That's cool, Mom.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
I want to go back to the beginning of your musical journey.
Yes.
Where did it start for you? Like, did you grow up in a musical family? Have you always been around music? Or was it something that came later?
So I wouldn't say I grew up in a musical family. My parents and my sister are not very musical. They're music enjoyers, but they don't really partake in creating music.
Mm-hmm.
But I had just always been super obsessed with singing. Like I always loved singing. I loved songwriting, and I just wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was always singing. And then when I was 9, my mom put me in singing lessons because I was like really, really, really bad. And she was like, okay, if she's going to keep doing this, we're going to have to get some training in here and at least try to improve her.
Yeah.
And so I took singing lessons for like 7 years when I was in that time from like 9 to 16. And I had the most amazing and wonderful teacher in like the whole entire world. And yeah, I don't know. I was just always like singing, songwriting, took some guitar lessons here and there, took some piano lessons here and there. And then I moved to LA to do music when I was 19.
Wow.
It was like kind of right before COVID.
Wow. Yeah, crazy time to move to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So did you have other opportunities in your life as a kid to sing? Like, I know like for some people, they grow up in a religious community where singing is like very much a common practice, or maybe like choir in a school. Did you get those kind of opportunities at all?
No, I didn't. I wasn't singing in church. I wasn't doing, I never did theater or I wasn't doing it really in school. I was always just doing it sort of on my own time.
Yeah.
I would have recitals, like, because I would take music lessons, and then the company would have recitals every so often. I would do that, but I was always just kind of doing my own thing with it. No chorus. That's what I was looking for. No chorus, no theater. It was just like, I don't know. It was just always my thing.
Did you start performing at all in high school or playing in any bands?
I would play in bands here and there just to practice, but it wasn't anything that was very consistent. And bands, what was the other thing?
Playing in bands or like just performing, like even like a one-off.
Performing. Oh, sometimes. Not really.
No.
But
remind me where you grew up again?
I'm from outside of Philly.
Okay.
So I'm an East Coast girly for sure.
Dang.
Where are you?
Canada, Vancouver.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And you came to this nation.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I did. I'm still here somehow. We'll see for how much longer. I don't know. I wonder every day.
Why?
Why? Oh my God. That's where this whole show takes a political direction.
I'm so sorry. No. No. No, I'm from Philly, from outside of Philly.
Okay, go.
From the Philadelphia suburbs.
Yeah. What was the music scene like there growing up?
None.
Really?
None. Well, so Philly is a very musical city.
Yeah.
Philly has like actually great musical history.
Isn't Mac Miller from Philly?
Mac Miller is from Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh? Oh,
but like
other side.
But like, yeah. The Roots are from Philly. Jill Scott is from Philly. So it's more that vibe.
Yeah.
Mac Miller is from Pittsburgh. Taylor Swift is from like the middle of Pennsylvania.
Oh
She's
shit!
from, like,
I didn't realize she was from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was. That was like a thing growing up. When I was really little, I liked her a lot, and I think that's probably maybe that's why I was songwriting. But I was like a really, really, really weird kid. So
yeah. How so?
I was just like myself. I was just so myself, and so because where I grew up wasn't very musical. The music scene it was pretty much non-existent. Doing music felt like I didn't feel like there was a lot of people doing music. And so I always felt like I was being weird, like singing and songwriting, but I just did it
Were
anyway.
people more like into sports?
Yeah.
And okay. And were you into sports?
No, I was a cheerleader.
Okay.
Like, but I just did it like because my friends did it. I wasn't like a kick-ass competitive
doing
like
the
cool
flips,
cheerleader.
like
no, I was just there for like social hour and
that's
to
fair.
like have something else to do that was fun.
Yeah. Who were some of the artists that really inspired you at that time?
Growing up, so I always say I have a holy trinity.
Okay.
Ariana at the top.
Yeah.
Rihanna, Beyonce.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty powerful trinity right there.
You know what? I wouldn't even say that anybody's at the top. They're all very inspirational to me in different ways. But those three, like, those are my girls.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites for sure.
Well, I can definitely tell the impression that Ariana Grande has left on you.
I do love her. She's
your style seems very similar. But also too, like, I mean, Ariana's an incredible singer. And oh, that was weird. That thing like stopped for a second. Hopefully it's all good. Ariana is an incredible singer.
Yeah.
But you as well have this incredible vocal ability.
Thank you.
That I've always been very inspired by.
Thank you.
So do you feel like, you said that you weren't a good singer when you were 9.
No.
Was
Terrible.
there a point when you really began to feel a shift in your voice and feel confident with your singing?
So I feel like I was fortunate enough to have a vocal coach through puberty. And I think that really helped me learn healthy singing habits. And she sort of helped me like mold my voice, opposed to like my voice formed into like a grown-up voice. And then I had to learn how to sing with like a mature voice. Like I got to sort of grow into my voice as I was maturing physically. And so like a switch, not necessarily, but I do think it was molded through lessons. Singing and confidence to me are like, I feel like if I'm confident about like my life in general, then I feel good about singing. If I feel bad in general, then I feel bad about singing.
Interesting.
So that will fluctuate with my person and my mental.
Yeah. Do you feel like that also corresponds to like how often you write music or how often you put music out?
Oh, that's so interesting. No, because
Okay.
I feel like my first 2 songs that I put out were like not like the worst time of my life, but when I was first putting out songs, I was not feeling so hot. And I feel like over the past 2 years, I have grown into myself so much more and become so much happier, healthier, confident. And I was like quiet. I was like not posting a lot, like not releasing music. And so now I feel like,
wow.
Now I am about to put out a song on Friday, actually.
Oh shit! Wow.
And
Sick.
So I know it's perfect timing.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. And so now I feel like I'm like doing well and releasing music when before my life was like a shit show and I was releasing music.
Yeah. How did that transition happen for you? Like what led to all those like positive changes in your life?
Taking responsibility for my emotions and my choices, I think. I think I had to like get really real with myself and be like, I'm in charge of my feelings. I'm in charge of my future. Like I can sit here and be sad and confused and scared, or I can just be an artist and whatever comes with that comes with it. And I had to like teach myself to stop worrying so much, which I mean, it's a constant.
Yeah.
I didn't just teach myself to stop worrying. Like I still
I was gonna say, what's the secret there? Tell me.
No, I still worry and like get anxious and have like good days and bad days and whatever. But
do you meditate?
No.
Okay.
I actually don't, but I would love to.
What are some of the things that help you like get rid of that anxiety and like not worry so much?
I take like sort of like healthy lifestyle habits kind of seriously.
Okay.
I take care of my sleep. Like I try to get good sleep every night. I exercise a lot. I eat healthy. I love to cook. I love cooking actually. For me, cooking is like a form of self-care.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know, it just feels very intentional to like prepare your meals. If you're cutting up an onion or something, you're doing it for yourself. And then being like, oh, I made this for myself. Like I'm nurturing myself with this. And it's like you get some time to yourself. You can listen to a podcast, listen to music. Like it's just like it's me time. And then you feed yourself at the end. It's great.
Yeah. No, I totally feel that. I love cooking. And I also feel like cooking is just like this fun journey that you can kind of continue to like level up in, you know, like you make you learn a new recipe or it's like a new skill and then you make something super bomb and you're like, damn, this tastes amazing. And you're like, holy shit, I made that. Like this is, and when you know on top of that like what you made was like made with good food and made like in a good cooking practice, we're like, okay, this is so much healthier.
Yeah.
It's not like going to, you know, In-N-Out Burger or getting like another, like my guilty pleasure is like burritos at food trucks. Like,
really?
Oh my God, I've eaten.
There's probably so many around here.
So many. Yeah, there's one. It's the worst. It's the worst, but it's the best. It's the worst because it's so close to here. Like I go downstairs and walk like 50 feet and there's this food truck and like this woman knows me. She knows me because I've been going there for years.
Yeah.
And so like she's seen like all these changes in my life and like my haircuts, my styles and all sorts of different things because she's seen me come for burritos for that many years.
That's good. I'm a burrito fan too.
Bad. I mean, they're good.
I'll have to go. Okay, so what you said about like you can always sort of like there's no ceiling on it. Cooking. Yeah, I feel like that is similar to music and art and creating. It's like, I mean, I guess there is an end. Like, you can write a song and then produce it and then it's release it and then it's out. But I feel like with music, with creating and writing and singing and whatever, like there's no, it never ends. It doesn't end until you end it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Just being like also more honest with myself, I feel like helped me get out of a rut.
So singing is one thing. Technique, singing, vocal coaching, all of that. Songwriting is a completely another world.
Mm-hmm.
So where did you learn to write songs?
I didn't. So I was always writing songs. I just posted a TikTok the other day of a song that I wrote.
Literally what popped into my head. 9-year-old Sarah. Like, I'm that girl and you're not.
Yes, I posted a TikTok the other day of a song that I wrote. I had a little songwriting journal from when I was 8 years old. Wow. And there's this song I wrote where I was like, I don't feel sorry for the way that I am. I don't have time for no man. Or I don't feel bad for no man. Like it's just like ridiculous.
Damn, sassy 8-year-old Sarah.
Yeah, so I was always writing songs. I don't know. I think I learned from just like copying what was on the radio. Mm-hmm. Like I would listen to songs that I liked and then I wish I had a better answer really, but I just was always doing it. It's something that comes very naturally to me and has always come naturally to me. I feel like even singing for me takes a lot more intention and practice and technique and thought, whereas songwriting is just like whatever whatever I feel like saying. But yeah, I have taken songwriting courses before when I like as an adult and they're cool too. It's cool to know like songwriting forms, structures and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. It's just always been something that has come really, really naturally to me. And it's like journaling. Like I don't journal. I think I don't journal because I like to songwrite.
Yeah.
And it's always just been it's so therapeutic. Do you write songs?
Yeah.
It's so therapeutic. And also you can write a song, you can have the worst day of your life, write a sad song about like whatever and like never look at it again. And it's just like out. It's out of your body, but you don't ever have to release it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I relate to that 100%. In fact, that was like most of my songwriting was like, at least for a long time, was just that process of just like needing to get something off my chest and just like needing to get it out. Mm-hmm. Do you make time to write or do you just like write when it strikes?
I write when it strikes.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like I write a lot. I feel like I get the most ideas when I'm driving. Like if I'm doing something else, then it will like creep into my head and I'll be like in the voice notes in the phone, like, and then I'll revisit it later.
That's cool. And then what about production? Do you produce your own music? Do you work with a producer? What's that process like for you?
So I recently started co-producing the song that comes out on Friday. I co-produced. My songs that are out already are produced by my friend Benzo, who is like the most talented person in the whole world. He's amazing. He also co-produced this, and I co-produced it also with my friend Jacoby, who is an artist, and he's like a really fire producer too. So this song was the three of us. My other 2 songs were just produced by Benzo. And I will come up with an idea, write it on the piano. Usually it's like I'll write it on the piano and then come in with a voice note. Yeah. It's like me singing and playing along, and then we'll go from there. With this song, I had a whole demo, and then I brought it, and then I brought it to my friends to work on. And
so right now you have two songs released, right? Ego and then Sex for Breakfast?
Yes.
So Ego, that's got like a million plays. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I think I have to restart this thing real fast. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
Hey.
It's all good.
Hey. Sorry.
Man, I totally forgot what I was gonna add.
Ego.
Yes, Ego. Okay, yeah, Ego. Over 1 million streams. Incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did that come about? Did you like submit it to different playlists? Did you like, what was that process?
Yes, I did really extreme playlisting on my own.
Okay.
When people say they do playlisting, I'm not sure if they're talking about what I did or if they're talking about something else. But I literally went on, this was like I think this is like what worked the best for me in releasing music.
Yeah.
I just found a bunch of smaller playlists and I would DM them, be like, hey, like you find it in the theme of your song.
Yeah.
So Ego, it's like a confident female empowerment song. I would find playlists. I would be like, baddie villain girl. And then DM them, be like, hey, I just released a song that I feel like would be good on your playlist. Do you want to check it out? Send them a link.
So you'd find them on Instagram, or like how would you find them?
So I started on Spotify. That's hard. It's hard to find their contact information.
It is.
And then I went to Instagram. And that was okay. The secret is Pinterest.
Pinterest?
The secret is Pinterest.
For playlists?
For playlists.
No way.
Yes. If you go on Pinterest and you type in like baddie playlist, million playlist comes up. Yes. And then it's people promoting their playlists on Pinterest.
I've never heard of playlisting on Pinterest.
Yes, and you just DM them. You say, hey, I saw your playlist. I think my song would fit on it.
Damn, I'm blown away right now. That's crazy.
And that's what I did. And I did a lot of that. I said it, like most of the people like don't answer. I don't even think they like open it or look at it.
Yeah.
But I sent it to like hundreds and hundreds of them. And I think, I mean, I don't really know exactly what worked the best, but I think that helped.
Wow. So did you do the same amount and that same technique for Sex for Breakfast as well too?
Yeah, I did it a little bit less.
Okay. Because the difference is pretty big. I mean, Ego's got like a million views, a million streams. I think Sex for Breakfast is like 17,000, or is it fit? We can look this up right now. Actually.
Yeah, you don't know my statistics?
Oh my God.
I'm
just
here
looking.
on this.
I was just looking.
I'm here on this here day today and you don't know my stats? I'm just kidding.
Here we go. 89. I was way off. My bad. My mistake. Also, you're almost at 2 million.
It's almost at 2 million. I really have like no idea.
It's such a wild thing. The whole like world of playlisting. Like I had one song that it just got on like one big playlist. And
that'll do it.
Like just from one.
Which one?
Indie Mono.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Did you?
So it's crazy that like once like, and that's not even like for me personally. I do not consider that to be like my best song or like my best work, but that's the song that.
How did you pitch it, or it just?
Honestly, that story's a little wild. It's basically there was a guy that I knew back in Canada. He was a young, ambitious guy, and he had started a record label. And this one night,
I have no idea what you're about to say. I feel like it's gonna be crazy.
Well, it's just such a bizarre thing. So this one night, he's like drunk outside of this bar called the Roxy, and we're just chopping it up. And he's like, "Hey man, like tell me, like give me your song, like give me 2 songs, and I'll get them on a playlist." And I was like, "Okay." So I like texted him 2 of my songs, and I think that. I mean, I don't know what was going through his mind at the time in his like, you know, kind of lit state. I don't know if he was trying to like flex or if he was, because like he wanted to do a deal with me. And I was kind of like on the fence about it. So we like, and I don't even know if we meant to meet up. But anyways, I run into him. He's drunk. He's like, yeah, just like send me 2 songs and they'll be on a playlist tomorrow. I was like, okay.
And did you ever see this man again?
You know what? That's a good question. I probably saw him like once or twice after that, but sure enough, like those songs ended up on the playlist.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, one of them got like a pretty significant amount of streams. So I was like, that's just.
Do you like those playlists?
Insane.
Do you listen to them yourself?
I'll be honest. The playlists that I listen to are not. There's only a few playlists that I listen to.
Okay. And what are they?
I will listen to, every once in a while, I'll listen to like the radio that like Spotify, like the mix, like the daily mix that Spotify will make for me.
Day list.
Yeah. I'm like, so damn.
Wait, what?
No, wait, you're saying it's called The Daily? I don't even know what it's
Oh,
called.
you don't know? Okay.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at myself because I'm like, I'm so out of touch with this. Like, it's embarrassing.
Oh, no, you're fine.
And then I will listen to like EDM playlists. And that's pretty much it.
That's fun.
There was like an ambient playlist that I listened to for a while, but most of the time I'm listening to specific artists. And then I'll just like let it play.
What did you get? Did you do your Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah, it was weird.
What did you get for like your type of listener? Because like for
do you remember yours?
yes,
What was yours?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was the one where it was like you listen to albums like from top to bottom.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh wow, oh like no, I really do that. I do. I'll just put it on the first song and go through the whole thing.
I feel like mine might have been like adventurous or something like that. Like I listen to a lot of different types of stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Because I feel like I definitely do. I listen
Yeah.
to all sorts of wacky, weird shit. Like even on the way here, I was listening to all this like weird Russian music.
What?
I couldn't even tell you their names. I'd have to look. It's like in Russian. But it's like, imagine like emo Russian rap, like hard emo Russian rap. I was just kind of going down a rabbit hole.
Okay, that's cool. It's good to branch out and listen to new kinds of music, I think.
I love it. I mean, I love like sifting through stuff and then finding something that just like really hits you and you're like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it doesn't always happen. Like you don't always just stumble across something that you're like, whoa. Like, and sometimes it's not necessarily the stuff you wouldn't expect. Sometimes it's like the thing in plain sight that you just never looked at. Like,
or how about this? You never listened to the lyrics. It's a song you know, or like you've heard it on the radio, and you go, wow, I didn't know that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
And this is actually really, this makes me feel a certain way. Happy,
Yeah.
sad, whatever.
Have you had a song like that recently? That you like stopped and like started listening to the lyrics and it just kind of hit you differently?
Can I pull out my phone?
Yeah. Yeah. Where's your phone at?
Because I kind of like, I feel like I have a good answer to this.
There's two that I have
You can
off
say.
the top of my head. One is this song by Josh Garrels, who's like not a super well known like indie folk artist. Like he's pretty well known in his community, but he has a song called Resistance off a record called Love, War, and the Sea in Between. And the lyrics are just, they're like really provocative and really deep and inspiring. And I feel like I just hadn't fully listened to them until just the other day, which is crazy. I've been listening to that record for years.
And then did it change the way you feel about this artist?
I mean, I just made that song even more meaningful for me. I was like, I feel like I went deeper with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And deeper with the artist also?
Yeah,
Did you
totally.
More to their music?
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's a band. Have you ever heard of the band The Paper Kites?
I don't think so.
They're like a folk band out of Australia. Really, really beautiful. But there's this song I've been obsessed with lately. It's called For All You Give. And I've always loved this band, but I kind of took a break from listening to them for a while, and they put out a couple albums in that period of time. And I came back and I'm like, oh my God, I've been missing out on all this music. And this song, just for particular reasons, like where I'm at in my life right now, is just, I pretty much wake up and listen to this song every day. For All You Give. It's just, it's like a beautiful like love song. It's just,
oh, send it to me.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
I would love to listen to it.
It's incredible.
I feel like Snooze, SZA. That's a really popular song. But at first I didn't know what she was saying. Yeah. And then I listened and I was like, oh, that's what you're talking about. And it's just like, it's like I'll do anything for my man, you know? My man. Yeah. I love this artist, Lolo Zouai, who I don't ever shut up about. I'll like artists and I like won't shut up about how much I love them. If there's an artist I find and I'll like fully go into them, because I'm always listening to new music. But then sometimes, like you're saying, sometimes something hits. Yeah. Like a song or whatever. Yeah. Lolo, love her. Yes, we went to the concert.
I actually have another one that I just thought of, but it's slightly different. So I saw Frank Ocean at Coachella this last
Oh,
year.
you went to Coachella?
Yeah, I was working it, so I got to be there for both weekends.
That's so fun.
And I grew up on Channel Orange. Like I was just always loved Channel Orange. But because I love Channel Orange so much, when Blonde came out, I just couldn't connect with it. And I like for years.
That's crazy.
For years, I couldn't connect with it. And then when I saw Frank at Coachella, like something changed inside of me. And I was like, I need to go back and listen to Blonde. And so my experience of like really digging into Blonde was me like driving through the desert and like driving out to Joshua Tree and just listening to it on repeat. And I think having like had that experience of like seeing that concert and being mesmerized, my hot take is that I actually loved that performance, even though everybody was super pissed off and like upset.
You can feel however you want.
I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh. What did he do from Blonde?
Oh man. I gotta look at the track list. So I don't.
Did you see Rosalia?
A tiny bit. Were you at Coachella?
No, but I love her. She's my fave.
I think I only saw her like from a distance. I didn't like intend. He did Pink and White. He did Novocaine. I want to say he did Ivy. I think he did White Ferrari. What else?
White Ferrari is a great sad song.
And then he also played some stuff off Channel Orange too. I'm pretty sure he did. I think he did Super Rich Kids, Crack Rock, Pyramids. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh, that's fun.
But seeing him changed it for me.
His presence?
Yeah, just like, seeing him perform those songs. It just like, it gave me what I needed to go back to that album and like truly fall in love with it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's so true. Sometimes when you see an artist live, you go, okay, I think I like this artist. And then you see them live and then you go, oh no, I love this artist.
Yeah. Sometimes you have like a deeper appreciation
Mm-hmm.
for an artist. I saw this girl recently. Her name's Shannon Blake. Maybe you've seen her on like TikTok or Instagram because she kind of blew up recently. She looks like a dreaded pixie fairy girl. And she has this song that's like, took a little bit of acid, little bit of shrooms. Anyways.
We're on different sides of TikTok.
We definitely,
I guess.
we definitely are. But I was really curious about like her music. And I was like, oh, I'd love to try to interview her. So I bought a meet and greet ticket and went to her concert when she came to LA. And seeing her perform live, I was like, oh shit, this person's like an actual, like really talented artist.
Ooh, that's
like,
cool.
Because a lot of what she did was like no backtrack, just like sat down, played acoustic, like not all of it, but some of it. And I was like, okay, this person isn't just like an industry plant or like some like kind of like artificial creation. This is like a person with like a deep backstory in music as a singer-songwriter who's like genuinely talented. So it gave me a whole new appreciation for
I'll have to look her up. I am not familiar.
It's kind of weird music, but it's cool. I mean, she's killing it right now.
That's cool. What about when it's better live?
Yeah.
When you go and you're like, I don't want to listen to this on the phone anymore. I want to watch them perform it.
Yeah. Do you have a good example of that?
No. Well, I do. Back to Rosalia. I do love her. I need to go to her next tour. I wish I went to the Motomami tour. I did not. But she's someone, like every time I see a video of her, I'm like, I would love to be in the room because she's so cool and she's so artistic. And so I think intentional with her movement and her visuals. Yeah. I would love to be at a show.
When you imagine yourself performing at like the height of your like possible peak performance, do you imagine yourself as like singing and dancing, like that whole kind of like, you know, package? Or do you view yourself more as like just pure like singer? Like what is when you close your eyes and you're like falling asleep at night and you're just like dreaming about being on stage performing for like 100,000 people, what do you see?
I want a big stage. I used to do this when I was little. I used to draw my stage
Damn.
I would draw I would do like the stage design, whatever. You know how kids will like practice their signature?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be like, when I'm gonna be famous, I'll practice my signature. I would like draw my stage.
Wow.
I was like, this is how this is gonna happen, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Big stage with levels to it. I want like stairs in my stage so I can be here with the audience and then go up more. And then like I think that is really fun. I think I'm gonna have to dance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be moving around. I think it's necessary for the music. I think I create music that invites body movement.
Interesting. You think you do that intentionally or just naturally? That's just what happens.
I think naturally.
Yeah.
I think naturally.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you the song Ego. Tell me about it. What is that song about? What are you trying to say?
Baby Stroke My Ego. Ego, I wrote as it started just like in my head. Like I really wish I had a better answer. It's just like a little line that will creep into my head and then a whole song will blossom. But it was just like, baby stroke my ego. Like it just like came like that.
That was
and
the first line that came
yeah, and it's the first line of the song also. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I was like, that's such an interesting to me. That's such an interesting first line of a song. Baby stroke my ego. Okay, where are we going with this? Like like what now? and so ego to me was sort of creating this vision of the person that I wanted to be. At the time, I was not her yet. At the time that I wrote Ego, like I wasn't the girl in the song. And I still don't think I'm the girl in the song, but I think I'm light years closer to her now than I was back then. But it was sort of like this fantasy of just like how I wanna know myself so well, be so in charge of myself and my space and who I am, be so sure of myself that I was like, yeah, baby stroke my ego. Will you tell me please? And then the song is sort of just like, oh, come with me. It's sort of like come with me to the dark side, but it's more like it's like come with me to the dark side, but it's not that dark. It's more just like come with me on this adventure of life and be great with me, sort of.
Yeah. What about Sex for Breakfast?
Sex for Breakfast. Sex for Breakfast, I wrote. Also, actually, the first line of the song is what came to me first. It was another sort of just like, popped in my head. Giving me sex for breakfast. I thought it was funny. I wanted to write something that was a little bit camp. Like, I feel like sex for breakfast, like in that line, giving me sex for breakfast, there's not a lot of nuance there. Like, right. I'm pretty much saying what's up. Yeah. But I wanted to write this song about something sexual, but in kind of like a nice way. Because the rest of the lyrics like create this image of this passionate like relationship. And sex for breakfast is really like the most obscene thing that I say. The rest of the song is kind of nice and it's just like romantic and intimate.
It's the line that sticks with you for sure. Yeah.
And I don't know. I wanted to write something fun and I wanted to do a beat like that. And yeah.
I think that was actually the first song that I saw, like one of the first songs that I saw you perform.
I usually would open with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that song. That is fun. I wanted to be like, Ego's so serious. Ego's like so serious. It's like, okay, like relax. It's like this like anthemic song. Sex for Breakfast, I was like, let me have a little bit of fun.
Yeah. Did you feel any kind of apprehension the first time you performed that song or the first time you released it? Like, were you a little bit like nervous about how it was going to be received?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was nervous because I was like, I grew up fairly sexually conservative. Fairly. And so I was definitely like it felt a little bit like taboo.
Mhm.
But it feels very real to me. Or
Yeah.
it feels very authentic to me. But I
Yeah.
was nervous, but I was like, no, I love this song, so why
Yeah.
not?
That's cool. I think that there's something really interesting about the artistic journey and being vulnerable and kind of revealing yourself through art.
Oh,
And I think that
yeah.
there's some moments that are maybe bolder than others where you're like, you're really allowing yourself to be seen. And there's a lot of beauty to that. And it takes a lot of courage. It's something that's really fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think with things that are really like intimate or sexual,
Mhm.
like that, like sexual breakfast, or even things that are like really dark, sad, serious. Yeah, it can be really difficult to open up like that, but that can be like your greatest. That
Mm.
can be the greatest work. I feel like that comes out of people sometimes.
Yeah.
This new song that I'm about to put out is a little bit darker. It's sort of me being like, oh, I was disrespected by this person and I felt like I was controlled by this person and now I'm free of all of that.
Hmm.
And
What's it called?
it's called Whatever I Want.
Okay. Sweet.
And the line is, watch me do whatever I want. and basically the song is me being like, you wanted me to stay under your control. You wanted me to do what you said. But now I do whatever I want. You disapproved of my favorite music. You disapproved of the clothes that I wanted to wear. And now I'm just gonna like do it anyway. Be myself.
Yeah.
And I don't need you. And I like that. And the song is so special to me.
Yeah.
This is definitely a song I feel like I needed to create because I was being extremely candid. When I wrote it, I was trying to learn how to produce, and I was trying to learn how to make a trap beat. And I was like, oh, let me make a trap beat and let me try to make a complete beat, because I would try to make beats and I would make like 30 seconds. And I was like, let me make a beat that flows like a song would. And then I made it and I was like, oh, I kind of like this beat. Let me like write to it.
Yeah.
And I wrote it in my room. And I was just, at that time in my life, I was like, wow, I feel so free now. I feel like I can do whatever I want now. And I don't have to worry about like somebody wondering what I'm doing or where I am or who I'm hanging out with or whatever. And I feel like I needed to create this song to confirm that I was free, that I was like on my own journey and not had to worry about what somebody else was thinking of me.
Yeah. How long ago did you write the song?
I wrote Whatever I Want in October of 2022.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a process. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. The song has been done for we probably finished it in the summer.
Okay. So why now? Why are you releasing it this Friday as opposed to, shortly after you finish the song or sometime in the future? What makes this Friday the moment?
I just feel ready. I feel ready. At first, when I created the song, I still felt kind of like attached to what I was going through. And I was like, oh, this feels like a lot. But now I feel ready to share the song and I feel like I really believe what I'm saying. I really do whatever I want now. In the song, it was kind of like what I was saying about ego, where I felt like it was sort of like a manifestation.
Yeah.
Where I felt free, but I still felt kind of like attached to the situation. And now I feel like I literally do whatever. Like I feel like all of those words in that song are completely factual. And like I live by them like a Bible. Like I live, like that is really how I live my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel ready to share that and to really be her, to be that girl.
Wow. That's an interesting idea, like writing in a way that you're kind of stepping into what you write.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of times it's maybe like the reverse, like, or maybe I'm speaking from my own perspective of like writing from where I was, like writing, you know, about like a past self as opposed to like writing of a future self. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, you should try it out.
I might.
It's fun.
I think I might.
I feel like it's kind of like manifestation in the way that people always talk about manifestation is to write it down, like write down your goals and your dream life and blah blah blah. Egos like that. Whatever I want was whatever I want, I was kind of already out of it, but now I feel like I really do. Like I stand by that song and like everything I say in that song.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought completely.
That's okay. Well, I'm excited for the song to come out. I'm really excited to hear it. How do you feel your experience has been moving from the East Coast out to Los Angeles to pursue music? What's that experience been like for you?
So I always wanted to move out of where I'm from. Like my whole life. I was like, I knew I would need to leave for whatever like extended period of time. I was like, I have to go somewhere. I always want to go to LA to do music. It is, the East Coast and the West Coast are very different.
Yeah.
I always tell people like, I feel like I'm an East Coast girl in my heart. But I do love it. I love LA. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's very diverse. There's always stuff going on.
That's for sure.
And that's where I feel like it's a great place for me to be. Oh, the weather is amazing. I feel like it's a great place for me to be, but it is different.
Yeah. Are there things that you miss back on the East Coast?
Yeah, I miss my family. I like really, really value relationships with people. I really value my relationships with my family, with my friends, with partners, like whatever. Those are things that I take seriously, and like I have a really awesome family, and so I do miss them. I miss my family. I miss some of my friends that are back there. It was just snowing the other day, and I never thought.
Yeah, it's pretty cold out on the East Coast right now.
Yeah, I never thought that I would miss. I don't miss the cold, but there's something so like comforting and beautiful to me about when it's snowing.
The snow. Yeah, the snow's magical.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But really, but now that it's gone, now that I haven't seen snow in like however many years, I'm like, wow, that looks really nice.
How many years have you been in LA for?
4.
Okay.
About 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think was the hardest part in that move?
It was so easy for me to move.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a I like moving. I like traveling. I get like claustrophobic if I'm in the same place for too long. I'm like one of those people that always has like a plane ticket. Like, I'm going here in a couple months. I'm going here in a couple months. Like it's just always something that has been really important to me, is to like not be stuck somewhere for too long.
What's your next plane ticket?
I actually don't have one right now. I don't have one right now because I was just gone because it's January and I was just gone in December.
Where did you go? Back home?
I went to London to visit my friend who's in the studio with us. I went to London and I went to Paris with my family.
Oh, sick.
And then I went home to Philly. But I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, this is the first time in a long time. Like, I don't actually have anything planned. But I'll usually go somewhere like every couple months, like 3 months. Not a little bit more than once a quarter. So moving was easy. Moving was great. That was fine. It was more so like once I got here, I was like, okay, you came here to do music. Like, bitch, now what? Like what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I wonder if that is something that a lot of people experience when they move somewhere to be like to do music, acting, modeling, like whatever. You get there and then you're like, okay, what does this really mean? Like, what are we actually about to get into? That was way more of a struggle. Was like actually being like, okay, I'm gonna do music and be a singer, but like, what is that? How am I gonna do that?
What were some of those steps that you took to
Panic
begin
attacks.
that process? Yeah. After the panic attacks.
So I used to worry a lot about like, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know how to do this. And I still worry. I'm still like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I used to really worry about it in like a debilitating way. And then I was just like, I am an artist. I am a singer. Like to be an artist, you have to create art. To be a singer, you have to sing. To be a songwriter, you have to write songs. So in my personal experience, the more that I just was myself and the more that I am those things, the bigger they become. And like the more like I used to stress about like what am I gonna do for like music jobs or like whatever. Wouldn't get any. Like I feel like the second I stopped worrying about what am I gonna do, I feel like I got more opportunities.
Interesting.
So for me, it's just more about like putting faith into the world and putting faith into myself that I just have to be myself. And then, I mean, obviously, like I work hard and like, and you know, take advantage of opportunities and do things and whatnot. But for me, it's just like the stress like kill me. I just have to like do it. I just have to do stuff.
Are you still performing a lot in LA?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't perform a lot. I don't like to perform.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mentioned like you feel like you get that nervousness and.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I got crazy nervous.
Yeah.
And it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. So I actually have to do it more. But
interesting.
Yeah, I like to sing and I like to sing with my friends and stuff. But like, I don't know, the second there's like a stage and a microphone, I'm like I'll like shake.
Really? Damn. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that at all, actually.
Yeah, I'm always wearing like if you look at videos of me performing, I'm most of the time wearing like long sleeves or like long pants because to cover like my legs shaking and stuff.
Dang. Man.
So I get really nervous.
Yeah, you got to get out there and just get those repetitions in.
Yeah, I know it's so stupid too. I feel like it's like the dumbest thing to. Like, I feel like that's my hardest challenge. I feel like everything else is a lot easier. But when it comes to performing, like, I don't know. I haven't tapped in. Like, I haven't found myself yet as a performer. Like, I know that there's, like, she's in there, like, a really authentic version of myself that, like, is Sarah, the performer.
Yeah.
But I haven't fully brought her out yet.
Yeah. What do you think is, I mean, when you think about the dream as an artist, what exactly does that look like as like a full fleshed out vision?
The dream as an artist for me is to truthfully is just to be able to create whatever I want, whenever I want, and feel like I can artistically express myself whenever. The answer that you want is that
there's no answer that I want.
No,
I mean,
the better answer to that question.
Open-ended question.
I want to tour. Okay, so I have this crazy like performance fear, but I want to tour. Like the idea of touring to me sounds like super
Touring's
fun.
Incredible.
I want to tour. Yeah, I want to release albums, tour everywhere, do stadiums.
If you could open for one artist, Ariana.
Yeah,
Ariana Grande.
It would be Ariana.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, it would be Ariana.
Who's gonna be your backup?
Rihanna.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun too. Also, I like the Rihanna. Like that fan base seems like it would be fun.
Yeah. When it comes to working, getting a job or a side gig in Los Angeles, do you find yourself being drawn to working like in proximity of music? Or do you prefer to like do something totally different to just get a paycheck?
No, I prefer to do music.
Yeah.
I do. Like samples, vocal samples.
You know what? I think I remember you telling me about this when we first met.
That's actually what I'm doing like most of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does that work? What does that look like?
So there's a few different ways. So it started with doing it for producers. Producers will be like, hey, will you sing on this beat? And then they like chop it up, pitch it, whatever, have vocal sample on a beat. Or I sell sample packs.
Okay.
Or like companies can hire you to make samples for them.
Interesting.
So that's one of those things too that I started doing it, and I was like, I don't know anything about this world. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And the more I was just like, I guess I'll try it. Like, whatever. Then the more work I've gotten it with that.
How did you even fall into that?
It was like word of mouth.
Really?
Yeah. Like a friend was like, Sarah's a good singer. Like, use her for this. And then
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I still work with this person, like the first person I ever started doing it with.
Yeah.
Still.
So is that all you have to do then?
No, I do like other random stuff here and there, but that's definitely like my main.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely like my main. That was also like crazy when I was like, oh, I'm like my main work is music. That was like the most like fabulous thing in the whole world for me.
Yeah, because incredible.
I'm like, I love working. Like I don't know. I'm very fulfilled by work and working hard. And so for me, like I always wanted to be like, I want to pay my bills with music. And like that was a milestone for me. Yeah. And so I think like 2023 was when I was like, yeah, music is my main income.
Damn. Yeah, and that's great. Incredible.
That was fun.
So how many like samples and sample packs and like how much of that are you like busting out in a day or in a week?
Oh my gosh. It fluctuates like crazy.
Yeah.
It's like by I want to say it's by project, but it's like some months are, I feel like that's how a lot of artists work. Like art people in general. It's like.
It's busy sometimes. It's slow other times. Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I'm definitely doing it.
Do you ever hear your voice on like different tracks that are floating around?
Yes. I just posted on Instagram. There was a video of Trippie Redd in the studio of like something that he had just cut in the studio. And it was a track that my voice was sampled on.
That's sick.
What else? There's Mozzie. Mozzie. There's a song release that was sampled. My voice was sampled. There's Zakari. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his name. One of his tracks has my sample. I'm trying to think. What'd you say?
I know. I don't know.
I know. I'm looking for support. I think those are probably the. Yeah, I'm trying to think, but yeah,
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah,
I mean that must be crazy to like just stumble across like another artist who like you've been looped up with kind of like unknowingly or unintentionally. Like,
usually I know beforehand.
Oh, like they'll be like, hey, we want you for this artist, like this project?
No, it'll be like, oh, this person like cut something to this beat.
Okay.
It's like this person like recorded on this beat. And then like a couple months later, it'll be like, oh, this person wants to release this song. And then a couple months later, it'll be like, oh, this song came out.
Crazy.
Because it's one of those.
Do you get royalties off that or is it just the one-time payment?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, it like, there's different agreements for everything, but yeah.
Damn. And what's your setup like? Like, what do you need to accomplish this? What do you got going on?
My setup, actually, my setup's a little bit better now. My setup was a little bit woo-woo for but the lights, yeah. No, it's just like a room setup, like a regular, just like room. I have my little desk and my monitor and my mic and my interface and my headphones. And I just got speakers. I just got speakers like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, congrats.
I was doing everything out of my headphones.
What kind of mic do you have?
I have a Rode NT1A.
Okay.
I would like to get. I wanted to get a TLM 103
Okay.
mic, but I'm having reservation. Like I think like for my next mic because I don't know. I also like these.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Everybody likes
SM7B.
Yeah, everybody likes these ones.
Michael Jackson mic. I mean, it's got its pros and cons. Like
I like when people hold it like this. I think that. I mean, I would probably not do
when
that.
they hold these ones.
Yeah, you know when you see people holding it like this, it's
Yeah.
all like awkward and.
I just did that actually when I was in the desert. I did like a bunch of interviews.
No, yeah, it's cool.
And I didn't bring the stand, so I just like had people like hold the end.
Right. Oh, I have this. I have one of these.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might be Rode also because my mic's Rode.
Oh, nice.
But
And then are you working in Logic or Ableton or Logic?
Yes.
Cool. Even for your beats, you're making beats in Logic?
Yes.
Do you use Splice?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Yes, I do use Splice, but I don't feel like a producer yet. I did co-produce this song, but I started it and then I took it elsewhere.
Okay.
I don't know. In my head, I'm like not a producer. I'm like, I'm a singer, I'm an artist, I'm a songwriter. But in my head, I'm like not. I would never be like, I'm a producer, but I guess technically I am. Following my logic earlier when I was like, all you have to do is just do it. I guess technically I'm a producer.
Totally.
But yeah, doing it in Logic. I would like to try. Everybody likes Ableton.
I really like Ableton.
Are you an Ableton person?
It kind of depends on what you're doing. I mean, like look at us right now. We're in Logic. I think for vocal stuff and like live instruments, I really prefer Logic.
Yeah,
But if I'm building a song or if I'm working like on a beat or something like electronic, I like to do stuff in Ableton. I also have the Ableton Push, which like allows you to interact with the track in like such a different way. Like I demoed my 2 albums ago. I demoed out the entire album just in Ableton. So it was super helpful for that.
Yeah, people love Ableton. And I feel like Ableton has really good stock sounds and plugins.
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
But I've just never come around to making the switch.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
Because there's like a whole different, and like if this is what you're used to seeing, like the wave forms and everything is kind of going down like top to bottom, like Ableton kind of like flips that around and like it has a whole different setup, but you can like go between both. And it's kind of crazy. It's a little bit daunting at first, but it's really cool once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, I'll probably
because it's kind of like Legos in a way. It's like you're putting in like blocks of like sound, and then you're like, yeah, maybe that's a bad analogy, but it's like it's just a totally different way of making music and like interacting with it.
That's so interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know exactly what that means, but I believe you.
Well, maybe I'll show you after this, and I'll try to pull it up and give you like a quick little.
Yeah, I would like my
demo.
one producer, like FL Studio loves FL.
Oh, really?
Diehard FL.
I've
fan.
never worked in Fruity Loops. But
No,
some people swear by it.
Yeah, I've known
some people like that's how they're making hits. So
yeah, I've known a couple people that use actually everybody I know who. Yeah, everybody actually that I know who uses FL is like does well. So actually, maybe
Fruity Loops is the way to go.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe,
possibly,
maybe that. But I mean, I don't know. It's like whatever. There's producer. I was just talking to her about my like one of my favorite producers, Keto. She uses Logic.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, the most important thing is like just whatever you can.
If it works for you.
Yeah, like feel comfortable and make good shit out of. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm kind of curious about where you find yourself in the music community in Los Angeles. Like, do you feel like it's been easy to meet and network and actually work with a lot of musicians? Or do you feel like it's a fairly disjointed and like distant community?
Oh, that's such an interesting question. I wouldn't say disjointed. I actually feel like I've had a good time meeting and working with other people. I've had a positive experience doing that. I know networking is like the cursed word. And like nobody wants to do it. Everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to, but you have to. Um, I've had a lot of fun like meeting new people, working with new people, I feel like most of the time it's like over like social media
Interesting.
that I will connect with people or people will like find me or something. That's just my reality.
Yeah.
But no, I have fun with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a mental thing. Like you can hate it if you want to hate it, but I like choose to try to have fun with it.
Would you say that you enjoy social media in general?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's interesting.
I do. I used to not, and I go through phases where I don't. But right now I do. Right now I do because I feel like myself, and I feel like I have the opportunity to present who I am and interact with people and make friends. And I love like finding other people's art, like finding other people's music and other people's like songs or paintings or fashion accounts. There's this artist that I really like. Her name's Uzumaki. She does like fur art. It's like no, it's literally just art. It's like fur art. Like
Wow.
she's super cool. Like I just love finding. I really enjoy experiencing art like outside of my own. And so social media like super super fun in that way.
Yeah, I'm wondering now, what are some of your like sources and avenues of inspiration? Maybe beyond the scope of social media. Where else do you draw inspiration?
For music?
For
Or for
music,
anything?
for art, yeah, for life.
The older I get, I think the more I look inwardly instead of I mean, like I just went on that whole tangent about how I love to like consume media and art and whatnot. I feel like I have gotten to know different parts of myself, and I feel like I'm constantly evolving, and I'm either like evolving or coming to terms with things about myself that I hadn't previously, and so looking at myself from different perspectives is interesting to draw inspiration from. Or I don't know. I really like to. I like to like think and like talk to myself. Like I'm a big like I love to talk to myself and like work out my like ideas and stuff and like thoughts. Like what do I think?
External processor.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm always like thinking about like stupid stuff. But I don't know. I also like to like go outside and like stare at the sky and I know a lot of people like do like drugs for like inspiration. That's not really my it sounds really like cool and fun, but that's not not really my inspiration. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my creative process is really like I feel like stuff just like flows like in me and out of me and
well, you mentioned movement being a place where you like find a lot of songwriting happens and like kind of always being like in motion. Or do you have like hobbies or things that you do that like put you in that space?
I have so many hobbies.
Yeah,
I'm like a hobby. I'm an advocate of
Hobby lobby girl.
Yes.
What are some of these hobbies?
I run a lot. I'm a running girl. I run a lot. I love to like exercise. I like to run. I like to, well, I guess like singing and songwriting. I mean, I guess it's kind of like work now, but it's also still feels like a hobby. It still feels like really, really fun. I started getting into fashion, like playing with like clothes and shapes. I've never really been like a design person, but it's something that I've been playing with lately that has been
like putting things together or actually like making stuff or
like putting together an outfit.
Yeah.
Or like putting together outfit being like, oh, this makes sense because it's shaped like this or like these colors go together. I really like I really like to be outside. I like to go to the beach. I'm actually a really big beach girly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you live far from the beach, right? Don't you live close to downtown?
Like 10, 15 minutes from here.
Yeah.
It's not that. I mean, I don't live in like I don't live at the beach, but it's not too bad. It's not like living in the valley where it's like a whole other state.
This is such a different world. Right now, I'm working on a project that has me out in Venice. I've been in Venice for like the last 3.5.
Do you like Venice?
2.5 months. I love Venice. Venice is my favorite part of LA.
Really?
For sure.
Why?
Man, so many reasons.
I'm serious. I mean that so earnestly.
Okay. I like Venice because it feels like you can actually like walk or ride a bike or ride a skateboard and like get to the things you need to get to.
Okay.
Like you could just stay in Venice if you wanted to and just have a bike and get around. Like you'd be set.
Mm-hmm.
I love Abercrombie. That's where I'm at right now. There's a really interesting community there. A lot of art, a lot of cool people.
Yeah, a lot of art.
What else do I love about Venice? I love just walking through the neighborhoods and looking at the houses. Like you'll see like old bungalows next to like modern mansions. Like not like mansions, but like really nice homes that are like super modern style.
Do you go to the canals?
I haven't been to the canals in forever.
The Venice Canals is actually one of my favorite spots in Los Angeles.
The canals are cool. I also just like the energy in Venice. Like there's something about it. I feel like people...
It feels very different.
Maybe they smile more in Venice than downtown Los Angeles.
Oh.
Downtown Los Angeles is just... See, that's my contrast, is going from DTLA to Venice. And downtown is like so aggressive, so intense.
Yeah. Downtown's a lot. We were just... Downtown can be a lot. But I really like Venice too. Yeah. I love my neighborhood.
What is the actual name of your neighborhood?
Like West Adams.
Okay. See, yeah, that's what I thought. Which is like adjacent to...
I don't know.
downtown.
I never thought of it as far from the beach, but maybe I was just being optimistic.
Because you're close to... I think West Adams is close to USC, right? Kind of?
It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably like a 30-minute drive from the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, 30, 40 minutes, yeah.
We don't want to tell people our address.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, hey, West Adams is a big enough area, so.
No.
But
no, it's a great neighborhood.
Do you feel like that's your favorite part of Los Angeles, though?
Actually, when you put it like that, what's better?
Damn, okay.
Oh my gosh. Like, I'm trying to think of where else I would rather be.
Wow, shout out to West Adams.
Like, where else would you, like, well, it's different for you, but.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, wait. There is one other place. I love Hermosa Beach.
I don't think I've ever been there.
I really love Hermosa Beach. Hermosa, Manhattan, you know? And this is why. The reason why I love it is because it is just so chill. Like, it's nice, it's clean. Like, I feel like if you go to Hermosa, you're just not going to be bothered by anything. Or like, also too, I live in a van, so it's like a little bit, like I'm thinking about those type of elements.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where can I park where I'm not worried that someone's going to break into my van?
That changes everything.
Or that I'm going to like deal.
Venice. Like,
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
The cleanliness of Venice, the vibe is definitely.
Yeah, the vibe in Venice is great.
Yeah.
It's still a little gritty. It's still a little sketchy. I mean, there's always like always interesting things happening. Like, especially on Abercrombie. Like last year, I was working on Abercrombie as well for a little bit, and there was a guy who broke into this woman's house, and he had a samurai sword, and he wouldn't leave her house. And then the SWAT team came, and there was a helicopter, and the news helicopter. They sent in like a robot, and they tear gassed this place. And the whole time he was like taking a bath in her bathtub. So when he finally came out, when they tear gassed him, he like walked out with like a towel around his waist, and they like told him to put his hands up. And then like the towel fell off, and like it's just.
I actually have never even heard one word of this. I never heard about this.
See, that's the crazy thing though, is that in LA,
there's so much going on all the time.
This kind of stuff happens, and it won't even make the news.
Mm-hmm.
No one's even gonna know. Like they might. Like the fire made the news on the
highway, yeah.
But crazy stuff happens every day. The only way to know is like Citizen app.
I don't have Citizen.
Yeah, neither do I.
I like won't. I kind of don't want to get it.
No, I can't. I can't have it.
I have the Ring app, and sometimes I'll like go on there and see like what's kind of going on.
A lot
but
of
Citizen,
lost dogs on there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always seeing. I had that too, and it was like lost dog, lost cat, lost dog. I was like, damn, what's going on with these? Yeah, exactly.
They're running every which way.
Got to put an air tag on that thing. Like, man, what's going on?
But no, I like won't get Citizen. I don't want to be that like scared. I know already, you know, that stuff happens, and I don't want to be like surprised with like, you know, like stabbing.
Yeah. I took a week off from like watching the news this last week being in the desert. And it was amazing. Like I have no idea what's going on in the world right now. Best feeling ever.
No.
I'm like, wow. I don't think I'm ever going to look at the news again.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, I know what you mean. The news is important, but I know what you mean.
It's a lot.
I needed a break.
It is a lot.
I mean, I'm like the type of person who like first thing in the morning, listen to the Wall Street Journal podcast, like read BBC. Like that's been my life for like ever.
Mm-hmm. So you're intaking a lot all the time.
All the time.
Right. Well, you just got a little cleanse.
Yeah.
But now you're back.
Much needed. No, I'm not back. I'm not reading the news for as long as I can. Someone's going to try to tell me something. I'll be like, cover my ears, run out of the room. I refuse. Taking a year off.
Wow.
I don't know. It's funny how like you can like when I was in the desert, I was like with like a community of people, and like
building
everything going on was just like not relevant to what we were doing. Like we were out there like enjoying each other's company and like sharing food and like dancing and like sharing knowledge and showing each other like our different fan builds and that kind of stuff. And it was like we just had our own little world.
Yeah, your own little community.
Yeah, for that like sliver of time.
What did you just say? Fan build?
Van build.
Oh, van build. I was like, what?
Fan build. Yeah, we were fan building.
Was it all van people?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the biggest van life gathering in America, but also probably the world. It's probably the biggest van gathering in the world.
Really? I'm not hip to van life, but it sounds interesting.
Would you ever do it?
It sometimes. It depends. It depends. Maybe not at this point in my life.
Yeah.
Like with the music, and I feel like I'm the most like, cause I feel like with the music going on, I have a lot of gear. I have a lot of like clothes for when I'm doing artist things, like costume kind of things for videos or shows or whatever. So I feel like I have more. Yeah, I could see like being more minimalistic, and I think like in my heart, like I'm like not very materialistic or like maximalist. So I guess I could see it maybe someday.
Yeah, I mean it's not for everybody, but it's a very interesting lifestyle.
Do you get claustrophobic?
No. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I think that I actually get like legitimate claustrophobia if I'm like in an actual like confined space. Like one time I was doing this like cave tunnel walk.
That's so crazy.
And like low key, I was like kind of freaking out a tiny bit. I was like, man, I gotta like take some deep breaths here and just be like, okay, it is what it is. I'm in this tunnel. So I was kind of like.
Did you get stuck?
No, thank God. I didn't get stuck.
Have you ever seen the movie The Descent?
No. Is that about people getting stuck in a tunnel?
It's like a cave. Movie? Yeah.
Damn. Do you like horror movies?
Yeah. Big time.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite horror movies?
I mean, like Hereditary.
Hereditary is insane.
I love Hereditary. I just watched Talk to Me when it came out this year. It's like everyone was like, oh, it's a new Hereditary. Like, it's really good. It was a great movie.
I think I heard about it, but.
What What else? Oh, Silence of the Lambs is like my favorite movie ever. I guess it's more of like a
Really?
thriller. Yeah.
Of all time? Wow. Okay. Jodie Foster.
Yes. So I love like the like badass bitch thing.
Yeah.
And like that's like my whole
Jodie Foster is
project.
a badass bitch.
Yeah, and in that movie, yeah, like she's just like a badass in that movie. She's so cool. She's like underestimated and proves them wrong. And I love that she has like no love interest in the movie. Like I'm always looking for movies like without like romantic storylines in them.
Yeah.
And that is for sure. I just think it's like an interesting film. All the acting's really good.
Yeah. The Conjuring, those movies are
Oh,
some
yeah.
of my favorites.
Oh
All
yeah.
those movies are so good.
Yeah.
And that world too that they create, because they're all kind of like interlaced, like with Annabelle and like Insidious, and yeah, those movies are insane.
Yes. Oh, I love The Conjuring. Yeah, when I was little, I was like really, really scared. Like I couldn't even watch like the commercials when they would come on TV. Like my mom would cover
really?
my eyes because I would get really scared.
Aw.
And then I got a little bit older, and then I was like, oh, I need to know everything that is scary.
Yeah. My brother and I kind of like a similar thing. We weren't allowed to watch a lot of those movies growing up. And so then as soon as we were adults, we just like binged everything.
And then you like love them.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that's been a bit of our thing. Is like just that's kind of a go-to. Like if we don't know what to watch, like we'll watch a horror movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't actually know why I like horror movies. I don't think I've like tried to dive too deep.
Well, what's the psychology behind it? Like what does it usually
Well, exactly.
signal?
I think that there's maybe like some kind of underlying curiosity. Like, you know, like humans, we have this trait of like when you drive past a car accident, like you want to look. You know, like everyone slows down on the highway. I feel like there's this thing inside of us that's like curious. It's like we want to know. Like even though we don't, it's like like it's freaky, but like you want to, but you don't want to.
I have a whole thing about this.
Oh, tell me.
So I'm so fascinated by death.
Okay.
And part of my I like go on this tangent like once a week.
This is fascinating.
I'm really, really fascinated by death. And I'm really fascinated by the transition between like a person and then like the body. And like psychologically, spiritually, culturally, like what does it mean when somebody transitions? Not like the afterlife, but just like I'm Sarah and then I'm the body. And it's like, what does that transition mean? Like mentally? And also like why are we culturally so like why is death so taboo? It's like the most natural thing that happens. Like everybody's gonna die. And it's just this whole thing that like it's taboo, it's scary. It's I don't know. I'm really, really fascinated.
Yeah.
By that. And yeah.
Let me show you something. So the first tattoo that I ever got is actually these coffins right here and these X's, which stand for my unknown date of death.
That's scary. Is it a prophecy?
Is it a I mean,
what does it say underneath?
It says "Live for Love." This is a song.
Oh, that's nice.
That's actually that top song. I was on tour and the girl and I who like sing on that song together, we both got these tattoos from this guy up in Alberta, like for free. He tattooed us for free. We were trying to lump it into like a music video that we were shooting, and it ended up like not being in the music video, but yeah.
That's cute. Well, that's really nice to have underneath the coffins.
Yeah, it kind of mellows it out a little bit, but
no, I feel like that like goes with, you know.
That was kind of the whole purpose. It was a reminder for me that like the time that I have is finite and I don't know when that's gonna run out. And so it's of the utmost importance to use that time to the best of my ability and to not waste it. And so that's like a constant reminder to myself of like, you know, I don't know how much time I have, so I'm going to use every single moment of it to like, you know, do something that's worthwhile.
To live for love. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Is that your you live by that? You would like that's the most important line of advice you have?
Oh man.
Sorry, that was kind of a crazy question.
That's
kind of a loaded.
That's a tricky question. I think, looking back on that song and like that line, "Live for Love," it sounds so simple, which is maybe why I hesitate to be like, yeah, that is what I live for.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think that it's the most cliche thing, but for a reason, that like love is the most powerful thing that we can experience. I mean, love makes people do the craziest things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a parent will like risk their life.
Mm-hmm.
A parent might even die for their child
For sure.
because they love their child. Somebody will literally like give up their life because they love, their friend or their partner or, their
People go crazy.
relative.
People lose their minds for love.
Yeah. But then also too, love just takes so many shapes and sizes. I mean, love doesn't always mean like a romantic love. Like love can also just mean like taking care of one another, like sharing and just like looking after each other. Like the love that you share with your friends, the love that you share with your siblings or your family. So I guess, thinking about like what would this world be without love, it'd be a pretty bleak world.
Sharing is literally caring.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you that love is important.
What got you so interested in thinking about death? Thinking about the
Being
temporal,
a weirdo. I don't know.
like looking at the sky too long.
I don't know. I'm like fascinated. I'm fascinated by all the things that like you're not supposed to talk about or like whatever is like taboo or weird or whatever. I've always been interested in like, no, I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to ask the questions you're not supposed to ask. I'm curious about. I'm a very curious person. That's probably shared among art people.
Yeah.
People that like music and art and stuff.
Yeah. What are some of the other things that you're curious about?
Oh my God, I don't know. That's something I'd have to think about. What else am I curious
I'm putting you on the
about?
spot with that question.
What else am I curious about? Everything and anything.
Yeah.
It's always changing. Always adding more things.
Do you ever get words that just like pop into your head out of nowhere and like they just get stuck like on a loop? Like you just like keep having this word and you're like, I don't even know this word. Like, why is this in my mind?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, fuck. That happens to me all the time.
I've actually never heard anybody say that.
Really?
That's interesting.
Okay. I had the weirdest one the other day.
What was it?
I had the word ashwagandha stuck in my head. And I was like,
I'm thinking of that lyric.
What? Okay, is that a lyric in a song?
No. Well, it's the supplement or it's like supplement, right?
Yeah. Well, so then I walked into some store, some like natural, like herbal. I didn't know what ashwagandha was. Like the word was just in my head.
You did.
No, like I didn't. I did not know what it was. I'd heard it, obviously, like I didn't like just imagine it. Like I must have like heard it or someone said it or something. Like it was stuck in my head. I'm like, I don't know what this word is. And I walked into this like natural herbal shop in Venice. And then this woman was explaining something to me. And I looked at like the ingredients and I was like, oh, ashwagandha. I'm like, that's crazy. This word's been stuck in my head.
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't. But I thought about it. I was like, that's very serendipitous.
Have you ever taken it?
No, have you?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Must have been some powerful ashwagandha.
I might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know. Maybe I might have. Maybe
I got to go back. I don't know. I think I was a little like, I was like, this sounds kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I want to take this. But I don't know. Maybe that word was on my mind for a reason.
That's really interesting. I don't have it with words. And I mean, unless it's like a song lyric, unless it's like a phrase, then it will like sort of pop into my head and won't leave. No, but I've never had that with I have that with like that's so weird. That's like a craving. That's like a food craving.
Yeah, kind of.
Like the word that pops up, it's like pizza. It's
just,
like, it's not going to go away until I eat pizza. Like something like that.
Is that your guilty pleasure besides the street burritos?
No, street burritos is your guilty pleasure. I don't have what's my guilty pleasure? I don't know. I kind of eat whatever I want. I try not to do food like that in my head.
Interesting. But you said you eat just like pretty healthy, generally speaking.
Yes. Water. Oh, I'm a water girl. I walk around with like a gallon of water. Not today, but like if I'm like on my own time, most of the time I have like a gallon of water that I carry around for no reason. Yeah, it's like not. Sometimes I think about not doing it because it's like it's loud. It's a loud statement like to have a gallon of water.
Hydro flask weighs 10 pounds.
Yeah, no, I think I do eat healthy, and I think I enjoy eating healthy because I don't like create rules around it. Yeah. Like I used to do that, and it was just hard. Because if you tell yourself, okay, I can't eat pizza for 6 months, oh my God. Me personally, all I'm gonna want to do is like eat pizza, and then it feels like terrible. But if I'm like, oh, I can eat whatever, whenever I want, then I don't know. I don't like to create like harsh rules around food stuff. It's never been like healthy for me in that way. That's
fair. Yeah. Going back to this is the last question that I'll ask about death. Would you say that you're afraid of death?
Not really. Maybe a little bit. Maybe like I'm scared of pain. I'm scared of pain, but I am not scared to become dead.
Do you view your music and your art as a way of living on?
No. And this is so fascinating to me because I have no like interest in like creating a legacy.
Interesting.
Like all things to me, they're like, oh, I want to do this to like have a legacy so I can live on for hundreds of years past my death. I have never considered anything I've ever done in my life through that lens. And I didn't realize that people did that until like a couple years ago.
Wow, really interesting.
And I don't know why. It was just something I never considered. And then I was like, oh, wow, people like, because people be like, oh, like I want to have a kid to like continue my legacy, to like continue my name.
That one I find kind of weird.
I mean, it works.
But I think hopefully if the kid isn't a fuck up,
it's effective. But you know, with the art, I don't know. I just do it because it feels good.
Somebody once told me that there's 3 deaths in the human experience. The first is when your body dies.
In your brain?
The second, kind of close. The second is when your body completely decomposes.
Okay.
And the third is when your name is spoken for the last time.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one before. I'm not about the decomposition though. That's so interesting. Well, so which one's like, what's the best one?
What's the best one? I don't think I've ever thought about it in that way. I mean, there's something to me that seems more terrifying about your name being spoken for the last time.
Really?
Than like my body decomposing or like my body dying. Yeah, I mean, that feels like truly like the end. I mean, I think about like, obviously if we're here right now, there's been all these other people that had to come before us that like were our ancestors for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Who knows how many of them. And, you know, I love my family, but I also am like really fascinated by my family tree and my family history and like where we came from. And
where did you come from?
Well, my last name is Kazushko, which is Belarusian.
Oh, that's cool.
So on my father's side, my grandfather's side, we immigrated from Belarus. And I've actually been back to Belarus and like found that family in the village and lived with them.
Do you know how far back it goes? Like when did they come?
I mean, my grandfather came from Belarus to Canada.
Okay.
So it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
But I know as far back as my great grandfather, possibly great grandfather in Belarus.
Great. Wow.
And then on another side, I know as far back as my great grandmother.
So on the one side, Belarus. On the other side,
It's Belarus and then pretty much like English, like England, Ireland, Scotland.
mm-hmm.
Like those two regions of the world.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. What about for you?
My mom is on my mom's side. I'm like, Scottish. Well, Kennedy is Irish. Like
Okay.
Scottish, Irish, Welsh.
Hmm.
My dad is Dominican and Guyanese.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they're different. They're very, very different worlds. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
But it's fascinating for me to think about like I wish that I could know who those people were, like even before.
But like you
I wish I
was
could
gonna
know
take this
like
somewhere else.
their life,
Yeah.
or, like what they did, like, you know.
Don't you feel like though that you have access to it? I feel like you are those people.
In a way, yeah. I mean, it's all in this DNA.
It's all
You know,
all here.
it's all here. Well, I guess like to an extent. Because I guess, I mean, I'm not a freaking geneticist or whatever the technical term is, but like, you know, there could be different variations of like the combinations of
Right, not everything
of
gets
genes
passed down.
that you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my brother is like slightly different, but yeah, no, I think that in a way, like it is all there.
Yeah.
But not the story though. And that's the thing. It's like it's one thing to have like the attributes. But I'm very fascinated by story, people's story. And I think, you know, I would give anything to be able to even have one story.
Well,
from
you
that time
went
past.
and you lived with the family?
Yeah, for a little
so
bit.
you got some stories, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely got a lot from that experience. That experience changed my life.
That's cool.
But yeah, all that to say, I mean, I would love to know even further back, you know, 1,000 years back.
So what are you gonna do to try to go back further? What's left to be done to find more information?
I don't know if it's possible. I mean, the further back it goes, it's just like poor peasants. There's a point at which there's like not a lot of record, not a lot going on there. Plus two, just like time and war and
Yeah.
like a lot of that has probably erased any kind of record.
That's true.
Especially in that part of the world.
That's true.
That's like changed hands so many times. Like it was controlled by Poland, and then it was controlled by the Soviet Union, and then now it's Belarus. But before then, it was probably part of some different empire.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. But yeah, I think that stuff like lives on through you. Like, I think things getting passed down I believe like things getting passed down generationally are real.
Mm-hmm.
And like physically, obviously, you will look like the people who have come before you. But I think also like in a more like mental and like spiritual way, that also like goes into you.
Do you feel connected at all to like any part of your heritage?
I feel connected to all of it.
Yeah.
I feel connected. I feel really connected to all of it. I feel like my mother all the time. Actually, I feel like my father all the time too. yeah, like I see them in me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, I don't know, I feel like growing up, I was always like telling people that I was like Dominican. And so I feel like maybe I identify more with that. But I feel like everything, and throughout my life, I've always been very like adamant about like being both, like, because my mom is like certain things and my dad are certain things. I've always been like, I refuse to like pick a side.
Yeah.
And it's really important to me to like be everything from both sides of my family.
Yeah. Switching gears a bit here, what can people expect to see? Like people who are your fans, people who are excited about your music and your music career. What can people expect to see from you and hear from you over this next year, 2024?
Over this next year, the song is coming. Whatever I Want is coming out on Friday, January 26th. I'm sure it's probably going to be already out by the time that this comes out.
It will be, yeah. But there will be a link in the description. Make sure to check it out.
Yes,
it's gonna be awesome.
Want, Sarah Kennedy. Whatever I Want's gonna come out. We have a little bit more coming with that. We're gonna do like some live stuff that I'm gonna release.
Sick. Like a live recording of the song, or cool.
Yes, a few live recordings, and some features that should be coming up that are gonna be really exciting and a little bit different for me. And you'll have to just stay tuned and find out.
Man.
Have to follow me and see what's going on.
Right on. What is something that you want to say to your future self a year from now?
Literally the first thing that popped in my head was shut up. Like, shut up. But I don't know why I would tell myself that. Or like, I don't like, okay. So what I mean by that is like, everything's going to be okay. Like shut up, like relax. Like you're going to be fine. I always have to like remind myself that I'm going to be okay. Yeah, that's what I would tell my future self.
I mean, you're telling me. Yeah.
No, that was what you said. No, what would I tell my future self?
What would you tell your future self 1 year from now if you're listening to this in a year?
Persevere. Keep going.
Yeah.
No, I think 1 year from now, things are going to be really great, and I'm going to be really happy. And yeah, I would tell her to just like chill out and like you're literally fine. That's yeah.
And then last question for you. Also, thank you so much for coming on. This has been
thank you
for having me.
Glad
that we were able to do this. So it's always great to have you back here at the studio. If you were going to give some advice to somebody who was living on the East Coast, 19 years old, just about to move out to Los Angeles to pursue music,
I could cry.
What advice would you give to that person?
I would tell them to send that shit and do it. I would say to just try, like if you have something in your heart that you want to do, to try it, and you can always change lanes and do something else, but you know, don't set yourself up for regret. Like try. If there's something you want to try, like do it. You know, do the move. Get through it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Just do.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, where can people find your music, your socials? Your
You can
websites
find-
or whatever you got, all the things.
You can find me on Instagram at Sarah Kennedy, on TikTok at Sarah Kennedy Music, and that's YouTube Sarah Kennedy. I think on YouTube my thing is Sarah Kennedy Pop Star. I think is my
Hell
like
yeah.
how you can make it now like a individualized on YouTube.
Oh,
I believe it's Sarah Kennedy Pop Star.
okay.
Yeah, that's where you can find me at Sarah Kennedy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. And
Thank
I'm looking forward to that
you.
single. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening to the Spring Street Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, sign up for the Patreon to receive exclusive behind the scenes content and check out the sponsor links in the description.